Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Here at Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
Do you know who that man is right there? That's who? Say it louder. All right, don't be scared to say it. That's Jesus Christ, right? Who taught you that? Look at him. Huh? Okay, understand that we have been lied to. That's why we out here teaching our people. That's why we come out here on the street. Because our people have been lied to. This is not your Savior. Give me Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3 again. I'm going to show you. This is why I read you the scripture. Read it again.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So, who is your Savior? Jesus Christ. Who we talking about? Jesus Christ, right? And you say, this is Jesus, right? Read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know.
Okay, it was good that you knew. You knew that was Caesar Borgia, right? But that's not Jesus. That's a white man that they put in place of Jesus.
Right.
You don't understand. Jesus prophesied that somebody was going to say that was him. Give me that in Matthew 24. I'm sure Jesus told you to watch out that somebody was going to say that they're Christ. And he was going to fool many people. How many people were fooled by this image right here?
You know?
A lot of people. Christ prophesied that. Watch this.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. And Jesus answered and said,
And who answered?
And Jesus answered them and said, and Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
He said, watch out that no man deceive you, no man lie to you, no man fool you. Read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
What did he say they was going to do? They was going to fool many. So let's see what Christ looked like in the Bible. Remember we told you, the truth is what's going to make you free.
Right.
So you're going to wash down all the lies you've been taught. Give me on Revelation chapter 1 verse 1.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1.
See, this is why it's important that you know who you are. There's a reason that they took the image of Christ out of your life, so you wouldn't even know why you're important. You wouldn't know that you're the special people that God chose.
Right.
You wouldn't know that Christ looked just like you.
Right.
You wouldn't know that the best homework assignment you can do for Black History Month is walking there with a picture of Christ and show them that this is my Black history right here.
That's right.
You understand that? Watch this.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Revelation of who?
Jesus Christ.
So let's see what Christ looked like according to the Bible. Not according to what they told me, according to the Bible. Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Okay. Now we're going to look at the one that you said, Jesus Christ. Is his hair even white? So he didn't even try to fool you because you... Okay, do you know during slavery we was killed if we was caught reading? So they didn't even have to fool us. All they had to do was tell us that's Jesus, and we better believe because Master said so.
You know.
So his hair, nor his hair ain't white. Nor is it like wool. What does wool look like? Huh? Like the hair we got, right? This is wool. That's wool. This is wool. This head, read it again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So that's one strike on this first image that you got right here. Neither one of these pictures show his hair being white. Neither one of these pictures showing how he even would it.
You know?
So they're not even trying to fool you because they knew if you was read it, you would have got killed.
Right.
Read.
As white as snow,
Read.
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Christ drank wine. What happened when we drank wine? What happened to our eyes? They turned red.
Bring it out.
Eyes were like fire, red. Read.
And his feet.
So now we're going to talk about the feet of Christ. Is your feet the same color as your face? Not the bottom of your feet, the top of your feet. Same color as your face. I can tell you're a black man from looking at your feet, right?
Yep.
Okay. So they're going to tell you what color Christ is. Read.
And his feet like unto fine bread.
Like unto what?
Fine bread.
What color is bread? Huh? It's brown. Is it light brown or is it dark brown? Don't know, right? Well, let's see if the Bible tells us what color Christ was specifically.
As if they burned in a furnace.
If you burn white paper, what color does it turn?
You know?
If you burn white rice, what color does it turn? So they say Christ's skin looked as if it had been burnt in a furnace.
That's right.
What is the Bible telling us about Christ? Christ was a black man. So understand that. The truth is going to make you free. So knowing that you didn't know who your master was. Like the ox knows his owner. You didn't know who your owner is, but now you're learning that your owner looks more like that image right there.
Right.
You understand that? Your owner looks more like you. A black man with white woolly hair.
That's right.
That's the important part of knowing who you are. Now let's show them what color the Jews are. Give me Jeremiah chapter 14.
Bring it out.
Understand, these things are the truth that you need to know. This will start waking you up to find out everything I've been told is a lie. Every time I turn on my TV and see white David, white Abraham, white Isaac, white everybody, white Jesus, those are lies to keep you low. So you can see the white man as Christ and see another black man as a nigger. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language.
It says Judah mourneth. This is the first tribe. The tribes of Israel. It says they mourneth. That's read.
And the gates thereof language. They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
It's telling you that the people of the Bible are black.
That's right.
That's what's not being taught to us. Now, what does it take for us to make the heaven? Because let me go ahead and cover your idolatry. Okay, do you believe that God wants us to walk around with the image of what killed his son? Nope. Like if your son got killed by a bullet, do you think somebody can represent you by walking around with that same bullet on his neck? Would that honor you in any way? That wouldn't agree with you. Plus that goes into what God said we were going to follow to. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. I'm going to show you the Bible told us that the cross is the Christianity image, right? That's what they use. God told us when we went into slavery, one of the curses was we was going to fall into religions of wood and stone. What two religions are our people mainly in? Christianity and what else? Islam. What do they do in Islam? They bow to something called the cobblestone.
Bring it out.
This prophecy right here, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord.
And who?
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So God was going to scatter us among all the nations of the earth. Y'all might want to listen, sis. Hold on, read.
Oh, they know.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
That's what God is telling us. One of the curses was we're going to be scattered to serve other nations, and we're going to serve other gods. Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Read.
Even wood and stone.
So when you represent that, you're representing a religion that ain't got nothing to do with this God right here.
Right.
That religion is of seizure bullshit. That's where you start seeing the cross come out. When you start seeing images of him that Michelangelo painted. You understand that? So that has nothing to do with this God. And give me that in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse go ahead.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18.
Yeah.
What profiteth the graven image that the makers thereof hath graven it?
So it's asking you, what is the profit of wearing a graven image that the maker thereof have graven? Like a man made that image. Ain't no power behind the cross. You watching the movies where a vampire run away from the cross. Ain't no power in that. A man made that cross. Read it out.
The molten image and a teacher of lies.
What do it teach?
Teacher of lies.
So understand that, brother. That is not going to benefit you in no shape, form, or fashion. You know what will benefit you? Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13.
Bring it out.
Show you what will benefit you though. This is what God has told us from the beginning to the end. This is what we need right here.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Yeah.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
You watch movies where people say, what is my purpose? What are we here for? The Bible says to fear God and keep his commandments. That is the whole duty of man. That's all God wants us to do. Anything outside of that goes into man-made religions and customs. You understand that? So my question, y'all, how do we get to heaven, brother?
By following the Moses law.
By following the commandments. You're right. By following the commandments. Now,
And the statutes.
in the statutes and knowing his judgments, you understand that, right?
I do.
So, do you follow them?
Yes, I do. I'm an Israelite myself.
You are Israelite by blood. You're Israelite just because that's your nationality. That's not a religion. You understand that?
No.
Okay, so
Like it's not a nationality.
it is not. So, being an Israelite, you are Israelite, sir, but what does God require of us? To follow his laws and commandments. Now, do you love God enough to say, if I showed you a commandment you're not following, would you change?
Yes, I will.
All right, give me 1 Corinthians 11. We're going to see, because God will test you sometimes. When you say I love God, he say everybody say they love him with their mouth. But their hearts are far from it. So we're going to test you today. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Y'all understand that the so-called black family, the whole structure of the black family is messed up, right?
Yeah.
Who rules the black family right now?
The media.
I mean, who is the head in the household? When you go there, who you need to speak? The men ain't the head of the household. The men are out in prison. The men are hanging in the streets. The men are playing video games all day.
I'm not.
Our men are like children. So right now, whenever you go to somebody's household, you're not trying to tell you got to speak to the mama. You got to speak to the grandma. That's who 9 times out of 10 run the black household. So let's see what God said about the order. Read.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. And the head of every man is Christ. And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is who?
The man.
Excuse me, sis. What's your name? How you doing, Madison? Who is the head of the woman? The man. Oh, praise. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
So who is the head of the man? Who is the head of the man? Christ. Who is the head of the woman? The man. And who is the head of Christ? Who? God. All praise to the Father. That's the hierarchy. God, Christ, man, woman. Okay? Read.
Every man praying or prophesying.
Now, what we're doing right now, we're reading the testimony of Jesus Christ. And that's called prophesying. So it says, every man praying or prophesying,
having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So it said, we're reading the Bible and your head is covered, your natural head, you dishonor your head. Who is your head that you dishonor? Your Christ. So what should we do if our head is covered while the Bible coming out? Uncovered. Now, I'm going to ask you again, do you love God?
I love the Father.
You don't love Christ?
I love him too.
So you love him enough to listen at the scripture, read it again?
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Do you love him enough to
I'm prophesizing if I'm studying.
We're prophesying right now. We're reading the testimony of Christ. So you're amongst us, talking with us about the prophecies of Jesus Christ. Do you love him enough to take off your hat? Bring it out. All praise to the Father. That's what repentance is. Finding out we does it. What about you? Do you love him enough to take it off?
Yeah, I do.
But there's a but.
Yeah, my hair kind of messed up. Right?
Okay, give me that. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. Listen to what God described our ancestors as. So we gotta, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's see what God said about our ancestors. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people.
This is the Israelites he's talking about. What are you calling us?
A rebellious people.
Understand that sometimes in the back in the day they didn't want to take off their hat because they were worried about their hair. But God says, keep my commandments. Matter of fact, give me that in Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 3. I want to show you something. I want to show y'all something that God says. Because everybody say I'm a child of God. But in order to call yourself a child of God, there are stipulations. You don't just automatically fall into that category. Read it.
Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 3. And say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant.
Hold on, what did God just say?
Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant.
So God say you should take off your hat when the scripture's coming out. God say cursed be the man that won't follow that. Read.
Which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice.
What did God say?
obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you.
And then what?
So shall ye be my people, and I will be your God.
So in order to call God your God and call Jesus your Lord, you got to be doing the things that he say.
That's right.
Y'all understand that? Yeah. That's the opposing thing that the Christian church is teaching our people. They say, oh, can't nobody be perfect. Oh, everybody's sin. So they try to desensitize you to what this Bible is actually teaching us.
That's right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.